Salute. Salute.
Recovery zone off the coast of San Diego is a go forecast from our meteorologists here at the Spaceflight Meteorology Group at the Johnson Space Center. And standing by on the deck of the USS John Murtha is my colleague from the Kennedy Space Center, Megan Cruz. Megan?
Mexican woman. A Mexican woman is waiting for the ship to. Yo, I tell you, man. I tell you. Salute to everyone out there, man. Salute. Salute to boy Kachina. Gen Z is God, says Ock in the motherfucking house. Roger Wood in the building. What it do? You know how it do. You know how it go. You know what's cracking. You smoking on NASA pack, man. We smoking on NASA pack. We smoking on NASA pack, man. You already know what time it is, man. You smoking that good NASA pack. It's cracking, man. I can't believe they did this shit. I can't believe they literally just did this shit in front of our faces this week. It's so bad, man. Like, and all of their little tricks are so obvious that, and then you go to the comment section and everyone's falling for it. Like, everybody fell for it. Everybody fell for it. Which just lets you know, like, damn, bro. They lucky I'm not a con man. These people are lucky I'm not a con man. Because it's a lot of dumb motherfuckers out here, man. They're lucky I'm an honest, genuine person, man. This was awful. This was an awful fake. My man, Boy Kachina, says, saw first man with Ryan Gosling last night because my girlfriend likes him. Pretty good rehash of Apollo landing. You should watch it with the fam. Jesus Christ. Listen, I saw the one with Tom Hanks back in the day. I was believing all that shit then. I do not believe this shit for 1 second. I don't think them motherfuckers went anywhere. I don't think them motherfucking astronauts went anywhere. The most they did was scuba swim into that pod that was sitting there for all that time in the water. They ain't nobody getting dropped in no fucking, because if the wind take you off course and that shit land against the side of a mountain, if the wind take that parachute off course and it crash against the side of the mountain, the motherfuckers get that. All that, everything with NASA is too dangerous to really do. If you really just think about it, it's all too dangerous to really do. Salute to everybody out there, man. Shout out to all you people out there. We're gonna look at a little bit of this, man. We got a lot to get into, man. I know it's been I didn't get to really do everything that I wanted to do today, but you know, we gonna get it cracking. We gonna get it cracking. You heard me? Salute to all you people out there. Yeah, they hate talking about stars. We talked about that the other night. We called them trying to mum the other guy when they talk about stars. They haven't gotten their star story straight because it just doesn't make sense. So they rather just not say anything definitive about stars so they can get their story straight. Because they're still trying to get their story straight. Shout out to boy Kachina, man. I'm gonna check that. I'll try to check that movie out, man. Let's get into it.
Latest weather forecast out in the recovery zone off the coast of San Diego is a go forecast from our meteorologists here at the Spaceflight Meteorology Group at the Johnson Space Center. And standing by on the deck of the USS John Murtha is my colleague from the Kennedy Space Center, Megan Cruz. Megan?
Hey there, Rob.
Why would she fake a fucking delay? That's so stupid. You already heard you heard him. We already heard you heard him. You jumped in because you heard him talking. You heard him hand it off to you. And then you started talking. And then you realized you forgot that there's supposed to be a delay.
Latest weather forecast out in the recovery zone off the coast of San Diego is a go forecast from our meteorologists here at the Spaceflight Meteorology Group at the Johnson Space Center. And standing by on the deck of the USS John Murtha is my colleague from the Kennedy Space Center, Megan Cruz. Megan?
Hey there, Rob. Yeah, welcome to the bow of the USS John Murtha. This is where we will report out live updates from the ship as NASA and the U.S. military work to recover our Artemis 2 astronauts in just about an hour and a half. How exciting. Now, right now, as you can see, we are out in the Pacific Ocean. We are just west of San Diego. We're actually staged.
If you've ever been to San Diego and you stared, I was at La Jolla. What is that? No, Pines, Torrey Pines. And I was standing on the golf course, right? At Torrey Pines. I got pictures and everything. Y'all remember when I went out there. This was like 2017 or some shit like that. But I was out at Torrey Pines, standing on that golf course and looking over into the Pacific Ocean. That shit is like, I don't know. It just makes you feel how insignificant you are. For some reason, the Pacific Ocean looks just it just got a different feel than the Atlantic Ocean. Looking off into the Pacific Ocean off of Torrey Pines is just, wow. It's like, holy shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God.
About 6.5 miles away from where we expect Orion to splash down. And then we will incrementally move closer. So at the time of splashdown, we'll be about 5 miles away, and then we will move to 3.2 miles away. At that point, we'll pause, make sure that all the debris that might be coming down with Orion, because basically some parts of like the parachute system, they're jettisoned off Orion during descent. So we'll just want to make sure that those all land in the water and that we are safe to move even closer. So we will make sure that we can move a little closer, and at that point we will move to a mile away from Orion. And at that point the ship will circle the capsule while NASA and Navy recovery forces work to get our astronauts out, and we should have great views of the bow from here. But also we have a ton of cameras all around the ship. For example, we actually have some cameras right to the left of me here on the bow. These are very strong, stabilized cameras. We can really get up close to make sure.
Oh, so this is where all the good cameras are, because they damn sure don't have no good cameras up there in space. They don't have no good cameras up there in space. Every camera they got in space is like a fucking Nikon fucking, like literally like some bullshit ass like camera from like 1985 and shit. With the little window in it, you gotta hold it like this and you gotta snap. Bullshit.
that we are sharing all the images we have available to you. We also will have some views from above. We actually have 5 planes providing live views of splashdown today. In fact, some of those aerial assets just took off from San Diego minutes ago. And then actually here on the flight deck, you see 4 helicopters, the 2 in the back. Those will take off in about 30 minutes from now, also with live cameras. So again, lots and lots of imagery that we hope to share with you today. And then those 2
So they're giving us all these imagery from Earth, but the images from fucking from the moon when they went out there for are all whack as hell and generic, look like CGI renderings and shit. But they gonna give us a bunch of. But here's the thing: once they get back into the Earth's orbit, oh, we gonna get all the great footage from the Earth's orbit. Space, nothing but fake shit. Earth's orbit, the best cameras in the world. The best images from fucking 1,000 different angles.
In the front, those 2 will pluck the crew out of the water and fly them back to our ship. Now, the combined team here on the ship, more than 550 people, left San Diego 4 days ago, and since then I've watched different teams train every day, rehearse, final preps to make sure that they're ready for today. So to give us more of an update about how recovery.
What do you mean train and prep? They ain't been training and prepping? You mean they sent them up there and then like 2 days before they came back, they trained the recovery team? The fuck? That don't make no fucking sense.
Going on right now. Why don't we turn over to Paul here, Paul Serpinski. He is the Assistant Artemis Recovery Director. Great to have you here, Paul.
Great to be here.
Look at this fucker. Look at this lying fucktard. This big ogre and shit. Big lying ogre.
Here, thanks.
Absolutely. So you just left the landing forces operations center here on the ship. How are we looking for recovery?
Right now, it's looking great. When I left, they were just about to get into weather briefing with Mission Control Center in Houston. But listening to the news this morning and everything.
That motherfucker like shit. That motherfucker said more in that one sentence than he did in his whole fucking life. These people are awful, yo. These people are sick too. This is wickedness, man. Pure wickedness to lie like this, man. Pure wickedness. These people are wicked. All right. These people are straight wicked. Demons. Look at this big ogre.
Going on, the reentry trajectory correction burn, the return trajectory correction burn went great. They were right down the money, right on the money, right down the middle, where they should be coming back.
Yeah, this. Come on, man. You work for NASA. You supposed to be able to speak without saying after every sentence. Am I crazy? If you work for NASA, you should be able to speak without saying every sentence, but he can't because he's lying. He's saying because he's lying. He's trying to figure out the lie. They gave him a loose script about the lie because they feel like loose scripts make it sound more authentic. Have you noticed that they don't use tight scripts? They don't use they kind of go with the Larry David method, a loose script, because they make it things like they make it seem like a thing. I think they think it's more authentic. So they give the person some rope to put their little spin on it so it sounds authentic. But really, if it's a lie, it's a lie. You know what I mean? Thing about acting in movies is that when you're acting in a movie, you're in character, so it's the truth. These people, they need to hire actors. They need to hire real actors for this shit, man. What's up, Wicked?
Yo, you know what I was just thinking, Chief?
Nah, what's that?
I don't think we've come across a story where a sunman murders an astronaut. So think about that, right? A motherfucker survived space, but they ain't gonna survive the brothers.
You know what? Don't you never know, man. Did you Google that?
That's a good point. Yeah, you just don't know them. I haven't. I'll be surprised though. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Astronaut murdered? I wouldn't be surprised if astronaut was murdered, man.
Caught a straight bullet or something.
I just anyway, fucking it's you just don't
They,
know, man.
they astronaut dude was dating a brother.
He said, "Yo, yeah, you never know. We maybe we can get into it later on in the show."
Our forces here are teams out in the water. All our boats are long.
That's 3 uhs in like half a sentence. Wicked. In your time as a correctional officer, right? Did you notice that the prisoner? Could you tell certain things when the prisoners were lying to you?
Oh yeah, hell yeah, all the
Like,
time.
would they use a lot of uhs when they were lying?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, this fucker won't stop saying it's annoying. It's like you're NASA's representative. The fucking shit's about to re-enter the fucking globe. I mean the galaxy or whatever the fuck the orbit and shit. It's coming back from space, it's re-entering the atmosphere, and you should be up there like, a solid, sturdy, representative, professional, and he's
or will be imminently. So yeah, it's just coming along great.
Yeah. It's really nice to see
It's coming along great. Wait till you see what he's calling great. Yo, there's no way that you could be comfortable while this is happening. I'm gonna show you what's happening in a minute.
see some of those boats float behind us. We were hoping to give you a live view, but of course they floated right out of the camera shot as you came to us. But so basically the team right now here on the ship, basically like monitoring mode, but really things will pick up about 15 minutes after splashdown.
Yeah, so a couple minutes before splashdown, things start happening really, really fast. Mm-hmm. Some events during the re-entry, they're maybe a second or two apart. And so it just takes a whole lot of effort and a lot of updates back and forth between us and Houston to try to keep track of everything that's happening all in real time. And then after splashdown, that's when the recovery team really kicks into high gear. We have our boat teams, our boat crews going out, our divers doing hazardous assessments as they get.
Wicked, have you kind of like you said you were on the fence the other day. Where are you leaning now?
As far as space?
Yeah, as far as this, not even space. Like we don't even have to argue about space, whether it's there or not, right? This shit, what you're seeing right now, because that's a better thing. You know what I mean? You can just judge that. We don't have to worry about other things. Just judge this.
Well, all I know about it is from when I've watched you. And I mean, for me, that's not enough to really change my mind on everything. You know what I mean? I haven't really paid too much attention to this specific mission, but because it's been a lot going on, man. Like the brothers are wilding out on Earth. We don't got time for space.
We don't get into the brothers, man. We don't get into the brothers, man. Definitely, man.
Progressively closer to the capsule, making sure it's safe for all of our people to go in, and it's also safe for the astronauts to come out, because really at the end of the day, that's what we're here for. Is we're to make sure that the astronauts get home safe after their tremendous journey to the moon and back. But then also we have, like you mentioned on a minute ago, all of our imagery helicopters are taking imagery, camera shots of it as it's coming in all the way through splashdown. I mean, they'll see it as soon as it crosses the horizon, all the way to the ocean here.
And then afterwards, we have to recover actually Orion to bring it into the well deck of the ship.
Absolutely, yeah. And so once the astronauts are safe on board, then those same dive teams are going to transition into securing the capsule. They'll position some equipment around it to kind of facilitate that. The ship will move into position. We'll attach a really big winch line to it, and then a bunch of tending lines. We'll pull the capsule around behind the ship and then start to slowly bring it in. And then, Orion comes in, goes hard down, and everyone cheers.
Yeah.
Great day.
Great day, exactly. Lots to coordinate, a lot to manage. Basically, planning for this recovery, Artemis 2 recovery, started a month after Artemis 1 launched. That was the uncrewed test flight of the Space Launch System rocket, as well as the Orion space
bags called the CMOOS system. That's the acronym for Crew Module Uprighting System.
We are suit dot complete.
Houston copies.
Reed Wiseman acknowledging that the final steps in suit donning are now complete for the crew. Leak checks have been completed earlier. The CMOOS system, those 5 inflatable airbags, will be inflated with helium. Those airbags will ensure that the vehicle remains upright. While that activity is going on, the flight control team here will be checking the systems on integrity, also making sure that there's no leakage of toxic gas from the spacecraft. It should take about 15 minutes from splashdown to the power down of all of the systems on integrity. And at that point, assuming everything is in a nominal fashion, then the green light will be given for the Navy recovery teams to begin to make their way closer to integrity, to begin the erection of a large inflatable life raft called a front porch that will be buttressed up alongside the hatchway to the spacecraft. That life raft will be used to bring the crew members out of this vehicle once the hatch is open, one by one. They'll get their land legs back after 9 days of weightlessness before they're put in harnesses to be hoisted one by one in sequential fashion, in an alternating fashion, to the 2 hovering Navy helicopters overhead.
my hair, but really nothing to speak of when it comes to having to recover our
Does that look
astronauts,
real?
as well as no waves here, really. So yeah, we're expecting a really great day. Also, hopefully, some really great views. You can see behind me that some of the clouds are starting.
Does that look real, Wicked? Does that look like a real image of the of
I
like?
mean, I don't see why not. You know?
Well, here's my thing. Here's my thing, Wicked. The whole time we were in space, they couldn't stick the fucking camera out the window. Remember that? They were in space. They would just be in the pod, sitting in front of the camera.
But I mean, if they were to do that, you'd probably say the same though. Like that looks fake or something. I mean, why?
No, but it would just be what we would see something like. No, listen, Wicked. Not ever putting the camera out the window when you're in space, but when you're coming back, the camera's out the window and you can see the side of the ship. We never got no view where you can see a piece of the ship. This is a piece of the ship that they're in. We never got to see a piece of the outside of the ship when they were in space. Does anybody remember that? Has anybody in the chat that's been following this? Do you remember? We never got to see a piece of the ship that was in a piece of the ship. It was just all like them in the pod, inside of the pod.
You know, just by God's grace, everything's parting, the skies and everything. The crew's doing great. Looking forward to come back, and our teams are ready. So this is one of those days you've dreamt about, and now it's finally here, and we're ready, and just thankful to be a part of it.
Yeah, and you play a really integral role. When was the last time you spoke to the crew, and how are they feeling in this last hour before splashdown?
Sure. Yeah, so the crew woke up. When they splashed down, they were woken up about 8.5 hours ago. Me and my fellow crew surgeons, Doctors Chris Hassan.
He said when they splashed down, they haven't splashed down yet. And they better be fucking terrified.
Our teams are ready, so this is one of those days you've dreamt about, and now it's finally here, and we're ready, and just thankful to be a part of it.
Yeah, and you play a really integral role. When was the last time you spoke to the crew, and how are they feeling in this last hour before splashdown?
Sure. Yeah, so the crew woke up. When they splashed down, they were woken up about 8.5 hours ago. Me and my fellow crew surgeons, Doctors Chris Haas and Rafi Kumjian from this Canadian Space Agency, spoke with them about 6.5 hours ago, just to double check on how they were doing, if there's any medical issues, how they slept, and then kind of go over their landing day protocol for their medications, for what we call a fluid load, to try to replace some of the fluid and electrolytes that they've lost with just a normal space adaptation. Once they got to space, they kind of have to replace some of that fluid to help them with the whole landing kind of readaptation to 1G, which they haven't done for the last 10 days. And then just kind of let them know how things are going to play out, out with the open water teams all the way until we finally get to the med deck. So they were very pumped up, very hurried though. They had a lot of cabin configuration, a lot of things to get ready. So they're excited, but also very focused on the job that they had to do. So we've trained a long time for this, and we're ready.
And you said some medications. I mean, those are kind of just to mitigate the effects of, obviously, their more than 695,000-mile journey back to Earth. It's just like anti-nausea medication, right?
Yeah, exactly, Megan. The astronauts are very healthy, fortunately, and even with
And closing in for a splashdown just 1 hour and 5 minutes from now.
Integrity, just under a minute till your GPS maneuver initiates, and both GPS units look eager to acquire.
Outstanding. Seats 3 and 4 are working on seat strap in now.
Houston copies.
That looks real. That just doesn't look real to me, man. That looks like a painting.
I mean, I don't know. I don't see why not. I just don't see why not.
It looks so clean, but yet so like.
You know what? And I'm honestly willing to give them the benefit of the doubt on this. I don't know why. I am, though. I will say this, though. The points where you do have me, though, is on the 60s. That one does sound like that one was bullshit.
Yeah, it just doesn't look right. Salute to my man, Boy Kachin. He says, saw first man. Oh, no. He says, a lot of stuttering scientists. They are math people. Ox, salute, wicked. Huntsville has a space center. Maybe some crew were maimed up there. Yeah,
maybe so.
Black town, man. Huntsville's a black Mecca.
Huntsville, what? Texas?
Alabama.
Yeah. Shout out to Mobile and the fishermen.
When we expect to achieve velocities upwards of 36,000 feet per second. And in order to slow down to a nice, graceful splashdown in the Pacific Ocean, the flight crew is going to experience between 3 and 4 times the force of Earth's gravity. On Artemis 1, pressure buildup inside the char layer of the heat shield resulted in the char losses we saw. NASA established a Tiger team whose job was to investigate the cause of the problem and then make recommendations on how to fly the Artemis 2 mission safely and successfully. And so for Artemis 2, we are going to fly a profile that ensures the spacecraft will not see that same type of pressure profile. And so the char losses seen on Artemis...
How can they guarantee anything?
Will not be like the one...
How can they guarantee anything, Wicked? It's space. They've only been up there like a couple dozen times. They don't know enough to guarantee anything. Would you at least say that? Like, look at this mission. He said on the first flight where they didn't have nobody in it, some shit got degraded on the plane, on the ship. So then we went back and worked it out, and now we guarantee that won't happen this time. Like, the fuck? How can you guarantee anything on? You know what I mean? You can't guarantee shit on Earth.
I mean, look, man, technology is amazing, right? Can you agree with that? Technology is impressive. I could see them being able to address shit like that, maybe.
But guarantee, what's up, Ray Wall, man? What's going on? What's your thoughts on this, man?
It was good. I don't believe it at all, man.
Yeah,
Now,
like,
did you
I
believe
need to see
that
it.
before, or did I convince you on it though?
No, I didn't believe it before. Fun man.
Okay.
I need to see it. I need to be in it.
It's an abstract when it's abstract.
Abstract, yeah.
don't you? Isn't it crazy how this shit is like every single person who's ever went to space has at least come back into the orbit? Because Challenger and not Challenger, but Columbia, that happened in Earth's orbit on the reentry. But no human being has ever gone to space and not come back into Earth's orbit. Isn't that crazy? Every
Didn't
single person who's ever gone into space has at least made it back into Earth's orbit.
So are you saying that why haven't they been like destroyed by the unknown kind of thing?
No, why hasn't anything ever happened, Wicked? Nothing has ever happened in space
Di-
bad.
Didn't like astronauts have
Nobody
died,
has
right?
drifted off into the abyss. Nobody,
Right.
nothing ever. Every Wicked, listen to me. Every single person who has ever gone into space allegedly has at least returned. 99% of them have made it back. 1% of them allegedly disintegrated on reentry.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that. That's a good point. Because I'm sure even with like the sea, right? I'm sure a lot of men were lost at sea, especially in the early stages, right?
Yeah.
That we saw in Artemis 1.
Rick Henfling indicated that the orientation of the spacecraft and the shortening of the distance of transit to the splashdown zone from the point of entry interface when we reach
I have on those big clunky gloves when if something happens, none of this shit is going to help you. Like, let's be honest. If you have a accident right now, having those big clunky gloves on the way you can't work the controls on this thing is not going to help you. Why? You know what I mean? Think about that, right? Like that little suit ain't going to do shit if allegedly something happened, right?
Yeah.
But they got these big clunky gloves and they can't even operate on. Look at all these buttons and knobs. It just don't make sense. It's impractical. It's not the way systems work. Systems don't work like that.
Yeah, even with the
top of
first
the Earth's
airplanes,
atmosphere.
they crashed. Some of them crashed.
They still crash.
They still create.
Little small airplanes crash all the time.
Yep.
Sometimes the big ones crash, but the little ones, they always crashing.
Yep.
Cessnas and shit.
Yeah, every day.
Yeah, every day.
Which will be coming up at 6:53 and 30 seconds p.m. Central Time, should do the trick in minimizing the deleterious forces against that heat shield that were noticed on the Artemis 1 mission.
And we think we see a beautiful sunrise over the west coast. So
come on, guys. I'm going to need you guys to support the channel, man. We need some people to support the channel, man. We bringing you this funk, man. We're going to get into the crime in a little bit. We bringing you this funk as a good old Friday. Let's see if we get some people take the challenge, man. Support the channel, sponsor the show. Y'all treat this show like I don't know, man. Y'all treat this show like bad, man. Support the show, sponsor the programming, man.
Australia.
We copy.
Commander Reed Wiseman reveling in his final hour in space on this mission as Integrity is passing.
Who would be reveling? Oh, look at this shit. Look at this shit.
Over the southwest coast of Australia now.
So that's Australia. Okay.
No, just look at the image.
Oh, yeah.
Who's taking that image?
No
Who's
idea.
taking this image? Do you ever think about that, Wicked? How about this? Just think about that, Wicked. Who's taking this image?
I mean, I'm sure the spaceship has a bunch of cameras everywhere, right? I mean, look at a Tesla, cameras everywhere.
Right, but that camera would not be attached to the spaceship. That's a never mind.
Of some 7,600 nautical miles. That will begin the southwest and northeasterly transit across the Pacific Ocean. Let's talk a little bit more about some of the highlights.
Okay, so they said this is an animated image. Okay, so this is an animated image. All right, that's fine.
We'll be reporting everything to the crew and receiving their reports as they enter the Earth's atmosphere for their 13.5-minute plunge.
Big gloves. You could make a mistake, right? They're in the most important phase of this, right? This is the phase where they control. They're basically an autopilot when they're in space, right? It's kind of like, being at 30,000 feet, right? They're on autopilot. They weren't controlling anything. They were just fooling around in the pod. You know what I mean? They weren't, guiding the ship anyway, right? Now we're coming back. This is the most important part. And you got some big fat ass isotoner gloves on, or you trying to fucking work the knobs and the buttons. It doesn't make any sense. It would be the cost benefit would be more for whatever could happen. And that spacesuit, having the gloves of the spacesuit on, could save you. Pales in comparison to turning the knob too far or pressing the wrong button because you got big fat ass isotoner gloves on, right? That's more of a, you know how systems work, right? It's efficient. You know what I mean? The least likely thing to happen is, pushed back to the most likely thing to happen. You know what I mean? I can't really explain it, but it's like in a car, right? When you're driving in a car, right? You have a seatbelt, you have a windshield, you have all this stuff, right? But like, if you get in an accident, it's really, you know what I mean? It's really nothing you can do. You know what I mean? You really can't do nothing, right?
Yeah.
But this is like having a big ass Michelin suit on while you're driving, and you can't even control the steering wheel. You know what I'm saying? It's like you know what I mean?
Those space suits are for oxygen, so they can breathe.
I think so. Yeah,
Okay.
I guess I don't know what the fuck. I'm assuming that's what they're for. So if
You think that thing would have an oxygen?
So if the top fly off this motherfucker, right? they all dead, right? It's a wrap for all of them. But if they turn the wrong knob and guide the ship the wrong way, or put the thrusters allegedly on at the wrong time, or put them on too powerfully, that could be catastrophic.
Yep.
But if something happened, that suit ain't gonna save you from shit. The fact that they got these suits on is not doing what they think it would do. The suits are like part of the play. It's part of the
illusion.
Yeah, the illusion. Like, hey, we got our suits on. Look at us, we're in space, and it's like, no, motherfucker, you wouldn't have that suit on because if anything happens, you're instantly gone anyway. You're traveling at 8 gazillion miles per hour. If the top flies off that thing, you're disintegrating in less than a second. Why would you have big clunky ass suit with big fat ass clunky ass gloves and you can't control the controls to get you back to Earth? It just doesn't make any fucking sense. They put more onus on the illusion than they do the actual practicality of what would actually, you know what I mean, flying the ship. They're so concerned with the illusion.
Back into the atmosphere for splashdown off the coast of San Diego. Now we have the ship back with us and Megan Cruz aboard the USS John P. Murtha. Megan?
Let's get it. I want to get into
that will protect the heat shield from excessive heat loads. So that is the difference between Artemis 1 and Artemis 2, all designed into.
Now look at these fuckers. Come on, man.
This mission to get.
Look at these fuckers, man. They're not doing anything. You can tell they're not doing anything. They just look like they're not doing anything. You know what I'm saying? You can tell they're like
a good time, man.
They're looking at blank screens and shit. I know that. I mean, I know you don't have to be 100% serious and just staring at the screen all the time. I know that. You know what I'm saying? But it just doesn't feel like. Look at this guy. He's shuffling papers. They're like, oh, the camera's on you. He's like shuffling papers and talking to her, and she like, oh, they're not talking about a motherfucking thing because ain't nobody in fucking space. Ain't nobody in fucking space. Nobody is in space. What the fuck is this? Like, is that's the thing they're in? That thing is flying. That thing's aerodynamic. Salute to NCF, man. NCF in the building, man.
What was I gonna say? Your Aki think if they could go up there that high, the government would have had like a weapon that they could use on anybody, you know?
Fuck yeah.
Like, oh yeah, now we can hit you from up here.
And then where are the satellites? There's 12,000 satellites allegedly. No NASA, think about this. In the history of NASA, not one time, all the space missions, I want you to think about this. All you people in the chat that are mocking me, not one single solitary time has any NASA footage caught a satellite or a star.
That's true.
Ever. All of their missions combined, they've never caught a glimpse of a satellite or a star. And I know what the stars, because then astronomers, sleuths online would be like, oh, that star wouldn't be right here at this time. You know what I mean? Because you have astronomers that chart the sky. They'll be like, if they're really where they say they are, that star would be on the other side of the earth. You know what I mean? Yep. So they can't really fuck with the stars, but the satellites, right? And I told you I don't believe in any satellites. Satellites is a hoax. All that stuff is done by hot air balloons. All the internet shit and all that stuff is done by ground cables and hot air balloons that go up. They keep hot air balloons in the air for months before they have to bring them down. So they just rotate them and shit like that, right? All that stuff, the high speed shit. So there's no satellites. Satellites don't exist. There's no satellites. They would have seen one. NASA would have seen one. NASA keeps going up there and they never see a satellite. That's ridiculous. Look at this shit. So that's the window. Okay, so the window on NASA shit looks like this.
Oh, there's a star right there, right? In the middle.
Nah, I don't know.
Never mind.
I don't know. I know they do not like talking about stars. And if it was a star, they could tell us, like, hey, look at this, look at Orion from fucking a gazillion feet in there. They don't do that. Why they don't do that? Hey, that's the fucking Big Dipper and shit right there from they never you think that would be the first thing they would do, right?
Yep.
Look at the Big Dipper. It doesn't look this way when you're standing in your backyard and shit. Look at this shit. This is horse shit.
Per second. Time to splash down 13 minutes, 10 seconds.
The atmosphere was designed that way so we can't go out.
I don't think the
All the
atmosphere is
gases.
designed with us in mind. I just think it is.
Yeah, it just is. It just is.
And as predicted, we've entered our communications blackout.
Life is a miracle.
This will be a 6-minute blackout period.
A bacteria
no
is
voice,
a miracle.
no data from the crew.
A plant is a miracle.
Yeah, when you put it that way,
3
man.
seconds away from the anticipated point of peak heating on the vehicle, where temperatures will rise to about 4,000 to 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit. This is the true test of our trajectory.
I saw today a seed that walks. There's a seed for some kind of wheat that walks. I shit you not. I'll show it to you guys later. I saw a nature program. The seed can walk and find a crack in the soil and then plant itself in it.
Yo, when you put it that way, though, that life is a miracle, it kind of puts this whole murder and mayhem thing into perspective.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, nigga stuff you out quick and don't give a fuck about all that shit. That's crazy. Nigga spend the rest of his miracle life in prison.
Right? and do it no problem, too.
Yeah, stupid shit. That's not a star, buddy. What the fuck?
And from the G5 aircraft in the vicinity of the splashdown zone, this view of integrity. So that pinpoint of light shows the vehicle as it enters the period of peak heating in the Earth's atmosphere, the first tug of gravity being felt by Integrity's astronauts since their launch back on April 1st.
The first tug of gravity. So now you come to a certain spot in the sky and then boom, it's like gravity now.
4.5 minutes until the end of the blackout period.
They left the vacuum.
Time to splash down, 11 minutes, 33 seconds.
I want you to think about it. A vacuum is on top of something. Like a vacuum can't be attached to anything without that also being a vacuum. Look at this shit.
The WB-57 flying in the splashdown zone also has a visual.
Look at this.
And the Navy helos also have visuals.
That's them racing back to Earth. And everybody's
still in the blackout period.
Happy.
Still doing.
Everybody's on board. It's happy and thrilled and it's exciting.
right.
Everybody
yeah, when you put it there, that does look crazy.
They didn't get cooked.
right. That does look crazy, though.
Everybody on the ground is just excited and everything's going perfect.
But are they saying this is live or it's like a computer representation?
Yeah, it's computer. It says visualization.
So, but still though.
Okay, but it's like.
Yeah, I mean, if it's trying to represent the real thing, and the real thing looks like this, I don't know,
man. Be out of the
man.
blackout period less than a minute from now.
What? Think about it. They got something on Earth that could withstand that heat. Why don't they make buildings out of it? Why don't they make
Right.
cars out of it? Why don't they make
Something, yeah. Maybe
tanks
it's
out of it?
expensive.
Why don't they make fighter pilots out of it? Oh, it's
Yep.
expensive, right? They don't have
Yeah.
enough money, right?
Maybe there'll be enough resources, but yeah, but if why
They
not,
are now
right?
processing data from
Why don't
integrity.
they make fighter jets? Every fighter jet out of that.
Fire trucks.
Yeah, like shit's just stupid, man. It's stupid.
That shit looked
Integrity
intense.
from
For
the
real.
Now
WB-57.
look, now they back in orbit. We can finally get a picture. But this is them coming through. Look at this. Oh my God. There were people literally crying. I was watching this earlier and I was reading the chat. And people were like, I'm crying right now. This is history. Like, so this is them coming back into the orbit.
Integrity impact to the camera controller fail is no cab one views of the chutes.
Yeah, salute. What Kachin says, it says visualization of left.
Integrity.
We're processing good data through the GPS system. A good view of integrity. Time to splash down 4.5 minutes.
We're processing good data. What the fuck? Shout out to Big Pete, man. Big Pete is in the building. He says, I'm trying to get the panelists to see what he sees is hilarious. Trust me, big dog. They got to wake up on their own time. But yeah, Wicked is a Sun Man correspondent for show. NASA, not so much. Yeah. I mean, it's I'm not frustrated that people don't see. I used to believe this shit, man. I used to believe
Yeah, I
this
did
shit
too.
for decades.
The pyros are armed for forward bay cover jettison.
So think about it. I want you to think about this.
Are they free falling?
Yeah, they're in that. So think about it, right? I just want you to think about it. If they came from space, right? They were at the moon. Remember, they went around the moon. And because there's a vacuum up there, they can just float, right? Now they're back in the world where there's gravity, where everything falls, right? So on top of us is a vacuum that we don't get sucked up by, but then poof, you go through this magical layer, and now you're in a place where it's gravity, right? So boom. Then think about it. I want you to think about it. That all that heat did not singe the parachutes that they're about to deploy. What if, let's just say, the parachutes that are about to deploy to slow them down, what if they got singed or burned up in the reentry in all that fire? These people are just going to crash into the earth and die. There's nobody in there. There's nobody in this fucking thing. Are you kidding me? That thing was floating around the moon. That thing was floating around the fucking moon, yo. That just doesn't seem odd that this fucking thing was
And
floating
there go
around
the
the
first
moon.
series of parachutes.
Look,
And we're on drogues.
And Houston, we're visual 2 drogues out the window.
They just dropped that. They dropped that from like a plane or something.
2 good drogue shoots.
They dropped
Next
that
up,
from a
We
plane.
copy, we see them.
They took this up in one of them big planes that they used to drop the helicopter. You know how like they got those big planes where you can put helicopters in or trucks, you know?
Yeah.
And they went up there with one of those and then dropped that shit. Dropped that shit down, that little pod down. That pod is not coming from space. That pod did not go around the moon and then just come back here. Ain't no fucking way in the world.
Yeah. How are those parachutes stopping it? It was just free falling for all that time.
It just
The
doesn't.
little chutes are gonna slow you down just enough for everybody to be safe.
It doesn't make any sense, man. It literally doesn't make any sense. That something would behave like that. What do we have that behaves like that? I want to show you something, just to show you how easy it is to take a pod up into space. I mean, up into the air and then drop it to fake the reentry. I'm gonna show you this. Watch this.
30 feet long, weighing in at around 27.5 tons.
They have planes that you can put a fucking tank on.
Though the C-5's ample cargo bay has more than enough space to occupy 2 of these monster weapons, loading them inside is no simple task. It takes multiple people working in tandem to guide the driver backward into the cargo bay, where it can be strapped down for safe transport. The C-5 Galaxy is what
they just pulled a fucking Black Hawk out of the back of a plane. That taking a pod up in the sky where it passed like the clouds and shit for say 50,000 feet and dropping that shit, and then immediately then NASA turning their cameras on that shit like, hey, look, they're back in orbit. That shit would be easy. Press 1. That shit it's a layup. That's a layup for them. Salute to Deluxe 247. AK Coward. AK, the real MVP. Coming through once again. That's a layup for them.
It's known as a strategic airlifter. It's a large-scale.
That pod is the size of two minivans.
Military transport craft designed with a specialized nose cone that can open and shut for quick loading and unloading. Its immense cargo bay measures 121 feet long and 19 feet wide. Allowing up to 31,000 cubic feet of storage.
So depending on the cargo that we carry, it's easier to load, especially like pallets, things like that. It's easier to load from the back in our truck bed mode is what they call it, where then once we have bigger objects like boats, helicopters, things like that.
And the pod that the astronauts in is the size of two minivans and shit. This would be easy to just fly up there above the clouds with, you know what I'm saying, and then just drop this shit like, hey, look, you're coming back from space.
Next up, the deployment of pilot parachutes that will pull the main chutes out. Time to splash down 3 minutes and 10 seconds.
Shout out to Boyatina, man. He says you can see the satellite moving at night. I can't see shit. Show me a satellite moving at night.
Perfect descent rate according to flight dynamics.
Good rates on 2 drogues.
We see the same on board.
That thing looks like it's moving.
That thing it's falling fast as shit. Look at that shit, man. This is bullshit.
Passing through 10,000 feet, still on drogues.
Do they show the people coming out of it or not?
I stopped watching, but we can fast forward to that part.
Oh, look, the drop.
But more.
Main chute deploy.
Think about all that shit got to go right. If
We're at
anything
5,000
go wrong, they dead. Ain't nobody in there.
Those size parachutes make sense now.
Search and recovery
beacon
activated on integrity.
Yeah. But think about it.
And we have 3 good main chutes.
Malfunction, you know, it ain't no
Good 3 main chutes, good reefing, good descent rate.
Rates, and we see 3 good-looking parachutes.
Maybe they use probably some kind of material, you know, some kind of high-tech material, but still, everything.
Integrity. Cabin pressure indicates no need for hydrazine checks.
They were just like
Integrity copies.
traveling a gazillion miles an hour.
This is a perfect descent for Integrity. Its crew sounding hale and hearty on board. Time to splash down 1 minute, 15 seconds. Integrity about to complete a journey spanning 694,481 miles from its launch from the Kennedy Space Center back on April 1st, and a trip around the moon.
Deluxe say this wasn't live, it was pre-recorded. They had many attempts as they wanted to get it right, and no one could see them in the middle of the ocean. That's deep. Yeah, think about it. Even if you were trying to fake, think about it. Even if you were doing this for a movie, right? Say this was just for a movie, or for the Army was doing some tests, right? To get this right, to make it drop right in the spot, because it dropped right where they said it was going to drop.
Passing through 1,000 feet.
When this shit was at the moon, they had this spot as the target to drop it at. And it made it all the way from the moon right to this spot. You would have to do this shit a million times to try to get it to do that. There's no way you could just do this on one try. Look at flames coming off of it. Is that flames?
Looks like it, yeah.
But the strings on the fucking parachute, none of them got tangled. None of that shit. They all just perfectly, everything happened perfect. And they're in there. You gotta remember, these motherfuckers are in there. These four motherfuckers in there, and they're having the time of their life. This is the greatest thing. They're all happy.
Houston Integrity, splashdown, sending post-landing command now.
Splashdown confirmed.
Copy splashdown. Waiting on VLDR.
Splashdown confirmed at 7:07 p.m. Central Time, 5:07 p.m. Pacific Time. From the pages of Jules Verne to a modern-day mission to the moon, a new chapter of the exploration of our celestial neighbor is complete. Integrity's astronauts back on Earth.
Okay, so they're going to sit there for...
And the landing and support officer reports the vehicle is stable 1. We still will be deploying the crew module uprighting system to maintain that orientation. A perfect bullseye splashdown for Integrity. And
heard that, perfect. Everything went perfect.
Are they in the Pacific?
Plus 30. No joy
Yeah, like
on
right at
Star
this
Radio
is
or cell phone.
this is exactly, all the ships are right here. The ships are like around here. In the whole big ocean, they landed right where they wanted to land from space.
And stand by. We have the master diver on Star Radio. Please hold comms.
Nothing went wrong.
Excuse me. Hey, Jackie, we just got the master diver on Star.
Nothing went wrong.
a good view of one of the fast boats.
Integrity Houston, if you are happy with your comm with Master Diver, you can go back to the 15-minute power down.
Okay, stand by. Yeah, we'll confirm here in a second.
The crew on board Integrity coordinating with the flight control team in Houston here in Mission Control on the timing of the power down of the vehicle, which will be the precursor.
So they're pulling it. Okay, so they're just going to pull it back to shore.
How come they didn't land in like grass? Grass field. Everybody around them. It seems like they can pinpoint where they want to land. So
I think they use the ocean because the ocean is soft and you can.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And there's a lot of room for error.
That ocean is wild, bro. I will give you that. Whew. Ocean travel is amazing. I've said that.
You know, I was just playing, but I mean, if they have the boats all around, it's like they knew right where they were going to land.
From space. They had it pinpointed. These motherfuckers, because the Earth is spinning, right? Ain't it? And it's traveling. Isn't the Earth spinning and traveling, rotating on its axis and
What they say, yeah.
spinning in the like the Earth not just still and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's weird, man.
As we mentioned at the top of the...
So it doesn't sway so much in the water there.
That's them.
Yeah. No, that's not them yet.
Oh, it's the rescuers.
These first responders.
And now that front porch looks like it's nearly fully inflated as well. You can see a much larger surface area. And so once the crew get out of Orion, they can stretch their legs a little bit on this front porch, get some fresh air. And enjoy this beautiful day here on their home planet. It appears teams now are about to connect the front porch to the stabilization collar. And at that point,
we stand by for the completion of the extraction of the crew, and ultimately they're hoisting onto Navy helicopters for a short flight back to the USS John P. Murtha. Splashdown occurred at 7:07 and 27 seconds p.m. Central Time. I had an opportunity to talk to...
There ain't no diversity in this room. In a room with all the computers, there ain't no diversity at all. All white men.
So precise, they've never seen anything line up on a ground track like today's entry by Integrity for its splashdown southwest of San Diego.
Integrity.
It's over by Cali, okay.
And the initial, you can hear it.
I thought you were weightless for 10 days. I thought you couldn't walk. Remember?
Jubilee.
Remember they said earlier you really can't, walk when you get back from weightlessness for 10 days?
Yeah.
Your problem, and that they gotta getting out of the fucking pod onto this in the fucking middle of a raging sea. That's their first. Why didn't they just take the pod back to shore or take it back to a tanker? Why didn't they pull a tanker? You know what I mean? A big ass, like fucking, chip up and just, extract them out. Why they got these little rafts and shit? They went from space to these rafts. This is ridiculous, man. It doesn't make sense. You wouldn't do it like this. You know what I mean? No one would do this part like this if they had 50 years and $1 gazillion to get it right. This is harder than the goddamn going to the moon. If you slip off that motherfucking ship, your ass is in trouble.
That current looks like it's moving too.
Man, what? You in trouble. I don't care, life jacket, nothing.
It's cold too.
You in deep shit if you fall. If anybody fall, them, one of the responders, anybody fall, you are in deep shit.
Yeah, you might freeze.
This is the calm scene too. Look how calm it is. This is calm.
Yeah. No big waves, but
that's what it looks like when it's calm. Man, you touch that motherfucking water, your ass going down. That shit gonna sweep you under. You ain't no fish.
I don't know about that. It depends.
You ain't no fish. So you think you could? How long you think you could survive in that?
If you could tread water, it'll just take you out to wherever.
But isn't those are big enough waves for seawater to constantly be going over your head?
Yeah, smacking you in the face, and yeah, it'd be tough.
The current would be, just rocking you. You know what I'm saying? Throwing, tossing you. You know what I mean? That current, these waves gonna toss you. You ain't gonna be just sitting there and treading water like you at the YMCA and shit. You gonna be fucking panicking and shit. You gonna forget all your rules to swimming and shit.
Yeah, I mean, but the boats are there, so they'll save you. But
somebody still gotta jump in after your ass. That boat ain't gonna save you if you fall off the side of that boat. You was gonna have to jump in after your ass and get you.
I throw you a rope.
This motherfucker. Look at this bitch. Mexican bitch.
That's the woman.
How were you feeling when you were seeing them looking so happy to be home and feeling really good?
You know, the funny thing is that we had video of them from inside the Orion vehicle. They were like that from the beginning. When we opened the hatch, they were already out of their seats, having a good time, waiting for us to open the hatch. And they opened the hatch, and of course, we did the first medical assessment. Everybody was doing very well, and they were just having such a great time with the medical team that was inside the capsule. I think they were all taking selfies with the phones that they have, probably talking about what they saw, and it was just smiles all around. They were having such a great time. And then we put them on the front porch when we were ready to put them on the front porch. And again, you could see they were just so ecstatic to be home and talking to everybody. So we were very happy to see all of that in the control room of the.
All right, let's get into some of this fucking crime, man. Salute to everybody out there, man. Hit the PayPal, Cash App, Super Chat. Sponsor the show, man. Support the channel, man.
Gucci Mane.
Oh, God. Let me just see this right quick.
Now to what happens after these astronauts return to Earth and just how easy is that readjustment? I want to bring in Alexandra Stankovic.
All right, now, let's see what these motherfuckers say. Everybody listen. They back now. They just fucking went around the moon and shit. They went around the Earth a bunch of times, went around the moon. They've been in space. They fucking did shit no other persons have done before. They've been in a fucking pod with 3 other people for 10 days. Basically, you fucking spread your arms from side to side and you can touch every wall. They've been in there for 10 days. Let's see. It's been at any second, anything could have gone wrong, and they all would have instantly been dead.
an assistant professor at Harvard Medical School and the founding director of the Center for Space Medicine Research at the Massachusetts General Hospital. Alexandra, thank you so much for your time today. And I want to start with first, what do we know about the first few days and what that looks like for the Artemis 2 crew once they're back on Earth?
You know, Alex, in the first half of this mission, we were really watching closely to see how the crew was adapting to being in microgravity. It's the opposite now. Now it's all about how are they readapting to being back in 1G here on Earth. So we're going to look first to see how their balance and their sense of orientation and sensory motor skills are adapting. That should happen pretty quickly. I think we'll see that within the first, few hours to a couple of days. They're going to be back to moving around on Earth just like normal. In terms of their strength and fitness, this has been a 10-day mission, so we're probably not going to see some of those deconditioning effects that you tend to see with International Space Station astronauts who spend 6 months or more on station. So also, because of the exercising that the Artemis astronauts have been doing in Orion, they should be very strong when they get back, but we'll probably...
Jesus Christ. Let me go ahead here, man. I can't do this shit anymore, man. That shit is just annoying.
A violent 24 hours in St. Louis County with 3 people dead at 2 separate shooting scenes. One of those victims was just 18 years old, shot and killed at a Bridgeton Quick Trip after getting off work. Fox News' Kelly Hoskins is live at that scene with the late details. Kelly?
Well, Andy, we're told that teen worked right across the street, walked over here to this Quick Trip right here behind me on St. Charles Rock Road, and shots rang out. That teen never made it home. And with it being a violent 24 hours right here in our area, we're going to start right here in Bridgeton, where this tragedy is hitting hard. Friends say the 18-year-old had just clocked out, walking across the street for something simple, a drink. A woman who knew him and asked not to be identified say the loss is devastating.
A lot of us cared about him. We were all shocked. It hurts for someone so young. And we think about him, and he would be there for me. He told me, you need anything at all, you come get me.
She says what makes this even harder is how ordinary that moment was.
Horrible thing to happen. As senseless to me. I don't know why he did it, why he deserved to die. It's just someone gone too soon.
Police say that teen was shot and killed in the parking lot of a Quick Trip on St. Charles Rock Road. A person of interest was taken into custody shortly after. Customers at the Quick Trip say the violence is unsettling.
It's just sad to hear, especially in this area where it's busy, where families are living. It's just a lot of violence nowadays, and I just wish it would stop.
Police say the victim and the suspect knew each other, and there is no ongoing threat to the public. The Quick Trip has since reopened and had no comment. Just hours later, another deadly shooting unfolded in Country Club Hills. Police in Country Club Hills are investigating a double homicide after 2 men were...
Country Club Hills. Niggas turned a place named Country Club Hills into a fucking... Jeez.
Police in Country Club Hills are investigating a double homicide after 2 men were shot and killed late Thursday night. Officers were called to the 5600 block of Gatesworth Avenue just before 10:30. When detectives arrived, they found both victims suffering from gunshot wounds. Both men were pronounced dead at the scene. No suspects are in custody, and St. Louis County Police have now taken over the investigation.
Blue hair. You see that rat right there? You see that? Yo, look at this rat. That tell you what kind of neighborhood Country Club Hills is now.
Yep.
I bet you when this was first built, it was probably a very good neighborhood. And then the blacks moved in.
Yep.
And St. Louis County Police have now taken over the investigation.
What bonnet? Yo, blue hair, a bonnet. Look, blue hair, a long blue wig, a bonnet.
No man.
Trash can overflow, stuffed and shit. Can't even close the lid on the trash can. Grass not cut. Weed. That's a weed. You know that's a fucking weed, right? That's not no bullshit. That's a fucking weed, man.
House is in nice condition, though. I gotta give him that.
From a distance, yeah.
Distance.
Now, back here in Bridgeton, we're told that those charges could come soon in regards to that shooting death of the 18-year-old. Meanwhile, in regards to Country Club Hills, that double murder, police are still searching for that suspect, and they're encouraging anyone with information to contact Crime Stoppers. Reporting live in Bridgeton, Kelly Hoskins, Fox 2 News.
And a mother is demanding answers after her daughter was shot and killed while working a late-night shift at Steak and Shake. Investigators say it all started with a drive-through dispute and ended with bullets flying. This happened last night on Bell Fountain Road in North St. Louis County. Our Megan Kernan has been on scene all afternoon. Megan.
Mike, this Steak and Shake is closed today after 32-year-old Chauncea Meekins was killed here in this drive.
Give me an idea on Chauncea Meekins.
Asian.
Meekins Asian. Yeah, Asian. Chauncea Meekins.
Through now boarded up. We talked to her mother, who tells us this was completely senseless and says no one should lose their life over something as simple as fast food. Police say it started around 11:30 last night with a confrontation in the drive-thru between customers inside a car and employees. During the argument,
Yeah, like nigga will kill you for that.
What happened?
Confrontation between customers in the car and employees.
Oh yeah.
So like it was something was wrong with the order, or somebody said something the way somebody ain't like it.
Yep.
And then confrontation happened, and one of the niggas in the car pulled out a gun and just shot. Like, and that nigga went through the drive-thru, so it's cameras on the car. Nigga probably used a credit card. Shit. Go to prison for some years.
Yep.
Just nigga went to get some nuggets and shit and end up in prison. Bitch went to work and ended up dead.
one of the people in the car pulled out a gun, shot through the window, and sped away. Chauncea Meekins was hit and killed. Another employee was shot, but is expected to survive. Meekins' mother says she had just talked to her daughter a few hours before this happened. She says she rushed here after seeing posts online, only to find shattered glass, her daughter's car, and a scene she says she'll never forget.
Been shot at Steak and Shake over some French fries. I just want to know why. Why would you shoot her? You didn't have to shoot her or the other employee. I just wish they find the person.
Chauncea Meekins, man. Oh, she was running her mouth. She had dyke. Yeah, she was talking hella shit to the people in that car too.
Probably.
She a stone cold dyke. Not saying she deserved to die, but I mean, yes, that's Snoop from The Wire, man.
Yeah, she has a look to her.
Yeah, she about it, man. She with the shit.
Who did this and bring justice to my family. Just want my baby back.
Meekins' mother says her daughter started working here a few months ago, juggling multiple jobs, and was looking forward to celebrating her birthday in just 2 weeks. Police have not released any kind of suspect description and are still looking for the shooter. If you have any information, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers at 866-371-TIPS. Live in North St. Louis County, Megan Kernan, 5 on your side.
That shit crazy.
Yo, I'm about to head out, man.
All right, man. Salute to you, man.
All right, man.
Thank
Salute.
you, man.
Have a good night.
Man. You too, man. I know that baby got you up early in the morning, bro.
Yep.
Yeah, man. All right, man. Wow. It was a big shooting in Philadelphia today. Salute to everybody out there, man. We up here early in the wee hours of the morning, man. We doing the damn thing, man. Salute to everybody joining us, man. You're enjoying the programming, man. Sponsor the programming. Help sponsor the programming. Let's see.
There are new details in a deadly shooting out of West Philadelphia as we learn more about the victim, 20-year-old Amani Ringgold. And Jen, you spoke with her grandmother today.
Yeah, Don, a grandmother who is beyond devastated. Amani Ringgold lived with her grandmother, was actually on the phone with her, saying she was on her way home when she was shot and killed in a case that police say is likely a case of mistaken identity.
Can't eat, can't sleep. Every time I close my eyes, just keep hearing it over and over again.
A heartbroken Deetra Bynum says she can't shake the gut-wrenching moment when she heard her eldest granddaughter slain on a city street.
I was on the phone with her and she was like, I'm coming home. I heard everything. That's why I'm saying, Lord, please take the sound out my head.
The shooting that also injured 2 additional victims happened at 60th and Market Streets shortly before 6:30 p.m. Tuesday. Family members say 20-year-old Amani Ringgold was wrapping up her
Another dyke. Another stud. Studs been getting that work, man. They treating studs like niggas. Press 1. They treating these studs like niggas out here, man.
day on the job working for a home health care company. She was grabbing a slice of pizza when she was killed.
We believe they were firing at people in that crowd. We believe Ms. Ringgold was in the intended target and an innocent victim in this case.
Philadelphia police now announcing the arrest warrants for 26-year-old Mustafa King and 21-year-old Zaire.
These niggas, man. About that life. They with the shit. Now they gonna be running and hiding and shit like little rats trying to get away from the fucking law and shit. When they go to court, they're gonna try to convince the judge that they're not gangbangers. They'll do everything they can to convince the judge and the jury that they're not gangsters.
Manning. Police say 2 additional suspects are seen in these surveillance photos, all wanted in connection with the deadly shooting, and police are asking for the public's help tracking them down. Investigators say they recovered the car the 4 suspects were traveling in when they opened fire, but now police need help identifying a second vehicle they might be using.
There's a car that we believe they got into after they left that location. They were not there when we got to the house.
Members of the victim's family showed up ahead of a police press conference this afternoon to reiterate that Ringgold was a good kid who loved life and loved her family.
She just wanted to do good, be good. She treated people how she wanted to be treated. She joked a lot.
They say Ringgold was just accepted at Community College of Philadelphia, planning a career in HVAC and electrical work. A bright young future stolen.
I want them to rot now. Just rot now. Because you took an innocent life.
There is a $20,000 reward in this case for anyone who provides information that leads to an arrest and a conviction. You can call in anonymous tips to 215-686-8477.
Police say someone out there knows who these men are. They know where they are hiding. And if people are helping them, they will face criminal charges. Tonight, they say they are looking for 4 men responsible in a triple shooting and the murder of a 20-year-old woman.
She was so sweet. She was precious. She was kind. She was caring. She tried to help everybody.
When it comes to kind words, family members say there's just not enough of them to describe 20-year-old Amani Ringgold.
The people that did it, just turn yourself in.
It was Tuesday. Amani was picking up a pizza near 60th and Market. Police say a Mazda with 4 people inside pulled up 3 men got out and started shooting.
The 25-year-old male is Mustafa King, and there's a 21-year-old male named Zaire Manning. Both of those individuals were 2 of the 4 that were inside this Mazda.
The car was ditched, says Deputy Police Commissioner Frank Fenor, near 5700 Sampson Street. Police searched a house near there and identified King and Manning as the 2 suspects. The other 2 men? Well, police are looking for names to go along with them. Tonight, all 4 are wanted in Amani's murder.
And if anyone knows where they're at or somebody's helping them merge, we're going to find that out.
Amani's family says she was on the phone with her grandmother at the time of the shooting, and people who know who did this should do the right thing.
Her grandmother heard every shot, her crying out for help, everything. Her grandma had to hear her last cry.
Now, Amani's family say that she was working her job in order to try and save money so she could celebrate her 21st birthday, which was coming up. But now they say instead they're planning a funeral. As for those 4 men, if you know where they're hiding out, if you know who those 2 men that they have yet to identify are, Philadelphia police say those tip lines are open and you can remain anonymous.
A rapper's family speaking out after she was found shot to death in Atlanta. Why they say she was targeted. Hey, thank you so much for joining us here on 11 Alive and streaming on 11 Alive Plus. I'm Faith Jesse.
And I'm Cheryl Preheim. We begin with a story you'll only see here on 11 Alive News. A rapper's family identifies her as the woman shot to death in Southeast Atlanta.
That's right. 11 Alive's Chase Howell spoke to the family who believes she may have been targeted because she was pregnant.
According to the family of Qualisha Barnes, she was 14 weeks pregnant when she was shot 4 times in the face.
Probably because I know I'm worth a million.
You may know her by her stage name, Sadiddy.
The only Diddy in my city with a lit wrist.
But those closest to her know her as a daughter and a sister.
I know her as Qualisha. I know her as Lily. I know her as
Qualisha. 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 Yo, there's so much violence in hip hop. Hip hop is more violent than every fucking genre combined, plus all the fucking hip hop is more violent than every job combined. Every job's violence, every job's fucking other than a soldier pales in comparison to hip hop. Qualisha. I know her as Qualisha.
And a sister.
I know her as Qualisha. I know her as Lily. I know her as we in the same house in the same bed. That's what I know her as. All that friend stuff, I don't care about none of that. That was my sister. That was my baby.
Give us the strength that we need to survive.
Hand in hand in prayer, the family of Qualisha Barnes asked God for strength while coming to terms with her senseless killing. And it's moments like this that are helping them deal with her death.
Generally, if you met Lily, you instantly loved her. And she was such a jokester, you know, she liked to laugh and she always cracking jokes on me.
Barnes's mom, Francine Lopez Stewart, says her rap name fits her perfectly.
She loved makeup. She loved dressing up. She loved beauty. So, and she was Sadiddy.
But Barnes wasn't just a rapper. She was also an aspiring nurse.
She made the dean's list. She had 2 more semesters to go. She was so proud of herself, and we were so proud of her.
As for what justice looks like, Lopez Stewart says seeing not just one person held responsible, but multiple, because she believes her daughter was set up.
If you instigate something that causes a murder, then you need some you need something. You know, I think you need to go to jail too.
According to Barnes's family, she had been living in the metro Atlanta area for about 10 years. As far as the investigation to who may have killed her, well, Atlanta police says that's still under investigation. In Atlanta, Chase Howell, 11 Alive News.
Man.
Welcome back. We want to return to that story about a Haitian immigrant who is charged in a deadly attack of a Florida mother at a gas station in Fort Myers. CBS News correspondent Nicole Valdez is there with much more. Nicole.
Drika, President Donald Trump posted the graphic video to Truth Social, which we've blurred and paused just before a Fort Myers gas station clerk is attacked. The disturbing video apparently shows Robert Joaquin smashing the windows of a parked SUV at that gas station with a hammer when the car's owner, a female.
Again, man, we talked about this the other day. Woman, call 911. Lock the doors and call 911. Don't go out there and confront a madman with a hammer. Men are stronger than you in every way, shape, or form. In every way, shape, or form. I wish she would have just locked the doors and called the cops. I wish she would have did that, man. She marched right up to him and he smacked the shit out of her with that damn hammer.
With a hammer when the car's owner, a female employee at the gas station, tries to confront him. Well, police say he viciously attacked her with a hammer and killed her. Joaquin, a Haitian immigrant, was later taken into custody. He's now.
Yeah, that's a motherfucker nigga. That nigga don't have one drop of admixture. This motherfucker is 1,000% black. This nigga, he that uncut raw.
Facing multiple charges, including homicide. Homeland Security says the suspect entered the U.S. in 2022 and was ordered removed by a federal judge the same year. He was granted temporary protected status under the Biden administration, which expired in 2024. And TPS prevents the government from deporting immigrants back to their home countries that are deemed unsafe.
The Trump administration stripped that safeguard, and his protections are now revoked.
Now, the Trump administration is seeking to revoke temporary protected status for about 350,000 Haitian immigrants living in the U.S. The lower courts have so far blocked the administration's efforts to do so, but now the Supreme Court will hear arguments on this case in just 3 weeks. Darika?
All right, Nicole Valdez, thank you.
Let's see.
This looked like a scene out of a movie. Brazen robbers smashing the windows of a jewelry store in New Jersey, and the heist was all caught on security video. As Christine Sloan reports from Perth Amboy, a mother and a daughter tried hard to stop these thieves from getting away with $1 million in jewels.
Shocking surveillance video shows a group of robbers using sledgehammers to smash the windows of this Perth Amboy jewelry store, getting inside within seconds and coming face to face with the mother and daughter owners. Even that doesn't stop them from breaking glass display cases. SD Jewelry Store co-owner Stephanie Duran tells us in Spanish it was quick, that the brazen robbers stole $1 million worth of jewelry, swiping gold chains and putting them into bags. A family member says it was scary.
Their main concern was just to grab all the gold that they could and leave within 2 minutes.
Duran trying to stop the robbers and her mom holding her back. Then outside, she puts up another fight, grabbing the hoodie of one of the suspects and attempting to stop the getaway car.
Importante que estamos vivos.
Her mom says in Spanish, what's important is that they're alive. Family members say the heist happening in broad daylight Wednesday, even with a police substation more than 200 feet away. Perla Ceballos says the store, now covered in shattered glass, is a mother and daughter's livelihood, and they have no insurance.
You had to pay the monthly payment for to cover $1 million in gold. It's too much. It's the expense for that. So she just preferred to take the hit because she can't afford it.
Police say they believe 5 people were involved and that the officers pursued the vehicle, a BMW.
Supposed to have all these cops around, and we're supposed to have, security around, but unfortunately, they didn't come in time.
From within 25 seconds of our initial 911 call, police officers were on the scene. Unfortunately, that call came after the people had left.
Police say the investigation continues, and they're asking anyone with information to come forward. In Perth Amboy, New Jersey, Christine Sloan, CBS News, New York.
Wow.
And police do add that the substation across the street from the jewelry store is used for the police athletic league and isn't always open.
Wow.
Now to a Fox 5 exclusive. Caught on camera, a violent scene inside a DC pizza shop. A man choking a woman before pulling a knife on a customer who tried to stop it. Fox 5's Shamari Stone is in Northwest with the video and the search for the suspect.
Well, that's right. D.C. police released this new surveillance video not too long ago, but of course we jump on the story right away here at Fox 5. I'm inside Duccini's Pizza Shop on Northwest 7th Avenue, and this is where they have those big jumbo slices that people like. People also come here to get cake and drink water. Now, a lot of customers I talked to tonight tell me that they are shocked that their popular pizza shop is now caught up in this. Well, this is what happened. That suspect choking a woman captured on surveillance video in this area right here. Now, over in this area was where there was another customer. He's like, hey, what's going on? Stop. You'll see what happens more in depth in the story. Well, the owner was behind this door. He opens it, pulls that customer to safety, locks the door, and little did he know that the whole thing was captured on this camera and other cameras throughout this restaurant. Let's show you this exclusive video. Surveillance video capturing the suspect wearing black shoes, khaki color.
Of course, nigga. Of course, some nigga. Of course, some ape. Jesus. The world be better without niggas, boy. I tell you, man. Take the $5 challenge. Support the show. Take the $5 challenge. Let's see if we get some people to sponsor the program. Take the $5 challenge, man. We going in depth with this crime, man. Crime time, man. It's crime time, man. Salute to Barry B. Barry B is in the building.
Capturing the suspect wearing black shoes, khaki-colored pants, a light blue shirt, and a black hat. This past Saturday, around 3:30 in the afternoon.
Now that nigga
take a
look
look.
old and young. He look old. He look old. He look like about 50 years old in this picture.
Surveillance video capturing.
He looked like 50 years old. Then in this other picture, he looked like he like 25.
Saturday around 3:30 in the afternoon. Now take a look at this only on Fox 5 video showing the suspect choking a woman near the tables. Another customer in the back yelling at him to stop. And then the suspect turns to him, pulling out a knife, police say, threatening him for trying to intervene. Now this camera video shows the pizza shop owner pulling the customer safely behind the locked glass door where the cash registers are located. Frustrated, the suspect grabs a bottle of red wine and leaves. Fortunately, no one was seriously hurt. You're now going to hear from the customer who tried to
and she left with him. Peep that. She left with him.
No one was seriously hurt. You're now
that
going
white
to
dude
hear
almost lost his life for no reason. That white dude almost lost his life for no reason. This bitch left with the fucking dude. That white dude, that's why you got to be careful with this shit. Hero shit. Especially now, if you want to save somebody from drowning or save somebody from, some kind of other, natural thing. But this type of shit, you got to stay out of it. That bitch turned around and left with that fucking dude. This white dude almost died for nothing.
On Fox 5 video showing the suspect choking a woman near the tables. Another customer in the back yelling at him to stop. And then the suspect turns to him, pulling out a knife, police say, threatening him for trying to intervene. Now, this camera video shows
that nigga would have killed that white man. That nigga would have stabbed that white man 50 times. And went to jail for 80 years. And nobody would have knew the difference. Society would have known the difference. But that white man got a family. He got people who love him. Probably got a business. Probably got a job, a house, dog. He would have been missed. He about to crash out over some dumbass black bitch that's fucking in the carry out with this fucking ape. And I get it. You see somebody choking a woman, it's off-putting. It is off-putting to see somebody choking a woman.
Khaki-colored pants, a light blue shirt, and a black hat. This past Saturday, around 3:30 in the afternoon. Now, take a look at this only on Fox 5 video showing the suspect choking a woman near the tables. Another customer in the back yelling at him to stop. And then the suspect turns to him, pulling out a knife, police say, threatening him for trying to intervene. Now, this camera video shows the pizza shop owner pulling the customer safely behind the locked glass door where the cash registers are located. Frustrated, the suspect grabs a bottle of red wine and leaves. Fortunately, no one was seriously hurt. You're now going to hear from the customer who tried to intervene.
All of a sudden, bam, he was like choking her.
What made you jump in?
I know, I just felt like I needed to help.
Him and that bitch probably go through this shit all the time. She's probably a nagging ass woman. They look like a bunch of like half homeless. They probably live at a shelter somewhere. They look like a fucking rinky-dink ass couple. I probably spend most of the time walking up and down the street arguing. He got a bottle of wine in his hand. She got a scooter. That's their... She probably run her mouth all day, and he probably drink to try to, like, you know, drown his sorrows. They having an argument and shit. She probably talking about you broke. You can't even buy me a piece of pizza. Broke ass nigga can't even give me a slice of pizza. He mad as shit because he can't buy a slice of pizza. Them big slices cost like 10 something. Maybe I don't know, they might be 15 now. But the big slices ain't cheap, man. He choked her out through her. She fine with that. That's what they do. She probably hit him too. She probably fuck him up too sometimes. And this white man was about to get into that shit and lose his fucking life over a fucking nigga bitch and some fucking ape. Press 1. Shout out to Pinky Brown. Pinky Brown. Pinky Brown.
Suspect wearing black shoes, khaki-colored pants, a light blue shirt, and a black hat. This past Saturday, around 3:30 in the afternoon. Now, take a look at this only on Fox 5 video showing the suspect choking a woman near the tables. Another customer in the back yelling at him to stop. And then the suspect turns to him, pulling out a knife, police.
Look how quick he was ready to kill. Look how quick he was ready to kill. He was ready to kill within an instant. Like he was ready to kill within an instant. Look at how quick that shit was watching.
And then the suspect turns to him, pulling out a knife, police say, threatening him for trying to intervene. Now, this camera video shows the pizza shop owner pulling the customer safely behind the...
He got the guy's bottle. He picked up his bottle. Oh, shit. He picked up my man's bottle. You want that shit back.
Locked glass door where the cash registers are located. Frustrated, the suspect grabs a
That's
bottle
another
of
bottle.
red wine and
Another
leaves.
bottle.
Fortunately, no one was seriously hurt. You're now going to hear from the customer who tried to intervene.
All of a sudden, bam, he was like choking her.
What made you jump in?
I know, I just felt like I needed to help this person out. After he choked her, again, we were just yelling at each other back and forth, just saying bad language, and he was just getting more angry, and I was getting really more angry myself, and I just needed to do something.
Well, shout out to that customer who tried to intervene and help the woman. Meanwhile, if you have any information about this, if you recognize that suspect, call DC Police. The department is offering a reward of up to $10,000 for information that leads to an arrest and a conviction in this case. As for the people who come here, the owner, the employees, they want folks just to come here and have these jumbo slices, get their cake, their water, their soda, and go have a nice evening in peace. I'm Shamari Stone. Back to you.
This is the moment a simple request turned into a violent attack. 75-year-old Linda Scott knocked to the ground, kicked and beaten. Pix 11 News spoke exclusively to Scott from her hospital bed, and we were there when she returned home.
See, my tulips are coming up. It's the perfect time of year. It's what I live for every year.
She's still battered and bruised, but able to show us the garden she planted in the front yard of her home here on President Street in Crown Heights. A space she loves is surrounded by filth in this vacant adjacent lot.
It's a bathroom. It's used for people walking by. They got to go poop. There's no bathrooms in the city.
So you're even saying people, dogs, it doesn't matter?
People, yeah. I've seen grown men get near the fence and pull down their pants and do what's necessary.
The lot is the center of controversy. Scott says for the last 10 years, she has been trying to get something done to stop people from dumping trash here, dog and human waste, just to name a few.
It's a free-for-all. You see the dog poo-poo bags there now.
What happened Monday, Scott admits to pouring ammonia in the lot earlier to keep the dogs away. But that only made things worse. It started as an argument, then it got physical.
We're not perfect. We're not perfect in life. And it was okay to discuss and argue with her. It was fine. I had no issues with that. And then the young lady just came and ran and sucker punched me.
While Scott is trying to heal, she believes this is bigger than her. It's a wake-up call about respect and how quickly anger can escalate to violence.
It's not right. It's not right. You're supposed to respect your elders. You're supposed to learn a little something from your elders.
You saw Miss Linda there getting emotional, talking about respect. She says she wants the person responsible held accountable. If you have any information on her whereabouts, you saw her in the piece, call Crime Stoppers. The number's right there. It's 800-577-TIPS.
It started as a leisurely stroll, but it suddenly became a fight to save his 14-month-old great-granddaughter from a kidnapping.
Yeah, the frightening incident took place on Monday in Long Beach. Police say the great-grandfather was pushing the little girl in a stroller when suddenly a woman who is a licensed social worker tried to take her.
But the 79-year-old man managed to wrestle the would-be kidnapper to the ground until cops arrived.
Long Island reporter Krista McNally is live in Long Beach tonight, where she spoke to the girl's mother about the terrifying encounter and her grandfather's heroism. Krista.
Terrifying indeed. It was a very scary situation here on West Penn Street and Laurelton Boulevard in Long Beach, where that 79-year-old great-grandfather was walking the child on Monday when there was an attempted kidnapping. That's according to the child's mother, who spoke with us on camera but did not want to show her face.
He's almost 80 years old, and he fought with his life, and it could have just ended so much
so much worse.
In this exclusive video, just moments before the attack, you can see the great-grandfather pushing the stroller on his daily walk. Minutes later, Heather Magone, seen here walking behind him, ran over and was claiming the baby was hers. The woman started unbuckling the safety straps and tried to take the 14-month-old from the stroller, according to Long Beach police.
He said she was like clawing at him and biting him and grabbing him. And he just kept kind of holding her down.
The attack so forceful, Magone was able to rip the covering that was secured to the stroller, according to the parents. Police say the baby's great-grandfather got the woman on the ground with one hand and held onto the stroller with the other.
She started yelling, "This is my child, this is my child, I have a license."
Mom says neighbors heard the commotion, ran out to help, and called 911. The great-grandfather called the parents, who rushed to the scene and were reunited with their child, who was unharmed. Magone was then arrested and is facing charges for kidnapping in the second degree. The 40-year-old is a licensed social worker in Long Beach.
Hi, this is Heather Magone, licensed clinical social worker.
She helps people. Her job is to help others. And then
we reached out to Magone's lawyer for comment and have not yet heard back. She was arraigned and held on $50,000 cash or $100,000 bond. And as for the great-grandfather and his great-grandchild, Mom tells me they're back to their daily walks.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I'm Karen Greer. And I'm George Estevez. In just the past few months, in fact, we've reported on countless shootings that have killed teenagers. Among those who have lost their lives is 7.
That mother said countless shootings that have killed teenagers. And this is just one city. This is Wakanda. This is where Angel Reese going, man. Where Angel Reese going, man, with Black Wakanda, man. Where the black people are family, man. They look out for each other.
I'm Karen Greer. And I'm George Estevez. In just the past few months, in fact, we've reported on countless shootings that have killed teenagers. Among those who have lost their lives is 17-year-old Jeremiah Gibson, who police found shot to death on Valentine's Day right here in the woods. Jeremiah's body was found on Marsham Drive in the city of South Fulton. New at 5. Channel 2's Tom Jones is live for us now. And Tom, Jeremiah's mother says he had so much to live for.
That's right, George. Tiffany Stone says her son Jeremiah was excited about graduating high school and had even been accepted to a military academy. Then one day he suddenly left his family home, and police say they found his body right here in these woods.
I was instantly shook and devastated.
Tiffany Stone couldn't believe what she was hearing.
This was never God's plan for his children, for them to die so young.
She had gotten a call saying police found her 17-year-old son, Jeremiah, dead in this wooded area. He had a gunshot wound to the chest.
We still don't really believe it. At some point, I'm looking for him to come home.
The Tucker High School junior had gone to visit his father in the city of South Fulton back in February. Then he left the home there and no one could find him until they tracked his location on the Live 360 app on Valentine's Day.
And that's kind of where they figured out where he was at.
Stone says police initially thought it was a suicide, but she says the medical examiner determined someone shot him. The mother says Jeremiah had a heart of gold and loved making TikTok videos with his siblings.
He loved his family.
Stone has seen all the recent shootings involving young people. Now she is among the grieving.
To see kids die, it doesn't feel good.
Stone thinks someone knows what happened to Jeremiah. She wants that person or persons to come forward.
That was my child, and I would want somebody to say something.
And police tell me this is still under investigation and they have not made any arrests. Stone says an arrest won't bring Jeremiah back, but she says it will provide the family some comfort. We're live in the city of South Fulton. Tom Jones, Channel 2 Action News.
Jeez. Jesus Christ. Fucking A, man. These people are violent, man. These people are violent.
This afternoon, homicide detectives are trying to determine why a late-night gas station parking lot fight turned deadly.
Atlanta News First reporter Mary-Kate Hamilton is live for us with the First Alert breaking news tracker just outside of Atlanta Police Headquarters. Mary-Kate, we do know that one person was killed.
We do, but that person who was killed still has not been identified by medical examiners, and none of the suspects have been identified. However, we were able to speak with Atlanta police on the latest on this investigation. This gas station parking lot in Northwest Atlanta became a crime scene overnight when an argument escalated to gunfire.
Trying to collect what we can and just piece together what happened tonight.
Police say a 19-year-old man was shot several times just before 10:15 Wednesday night, and even still was able to flee the scene.
The decedent, it did happen here in the parking lot, but the male who was struck, he actually did cross the street. So we did have to make a rather large crime scene just to preserve any kind of evidence that came about.
The man was then taken to Grady Memorial Hospital, but despite medics' efforts, he died there overnight. Homicide detectives were on scene well into the evening looking for a suspect or suspects.
We've got multiple shell casings, so we're still trying to determine the exact number of shooters and who we're looking for.
And these cameras may be the key to their investigation.
So right now we've been working with the business owner who's been cooperative and collecting some kind of video evidence. We've been able to locate some ballistic evidence as well on scene. So it's still preliminary.
Now, we also asked Lieutenant Butler if he believed this was an attempted robbery. He said no. He believes this was more of a standard argument, again, that escalated into a gunfight. However, we are still waiting for lots of updates on this case. We will, of course, keep you updated as we learn more. For now, live outside of Atlanta Police Headquarters, Mary-Kate Hamilton, Atlanta News First.
A woman in Douglas County is arrested on multiple child cruelty charges after deputies say she left 5 children alone for more than 12 hours. They say Sherry Magby also didn't leave the 5 children with enough food to eat. Deputies found a strong odor and horrible living conditions when they arrived at a home on James Simpson Avenue. Investigators say one child told deputies they had to eat bugs to survive. We spoke with a neighbor who was shocked to hear about these charges.
I hope justice is served because the kids didn't ask to be here. So why are you punishing the kid? Take them to your parent, family member or something.
Magby has a trial scheduled for May 11th regarding another child cruelty charge. She's accused of cutting a child on the back while he tried to get away from her.
Wow, just terrible there. A candlelight vigil for the 3-year-old shot and killed over the weekend is planned for tonight in Southwest Atlanta. Armani Lyons was found dead inside an apartment unit. His mother said that she left him at a longtime babysitter's apartment Saturday night before going to work at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, where hours later, she says she got a call from police officers telling her to rush to the hospital.
I'm not even 100% sure what happened. All they told me was he been shot, get to Grady. I got to Grady. They set me in a room and they say he was gone.
Right now, we are pressing police to learn how Armani was shot and if anyone will face charges.
Atlanta police are searching for persons of interest in another deadly shooting. This one happened over the weekend at Piedmont Park. Look at your screen. Investigators released photos of the suspects. Police want to find the 2 people in black long sleeve shirts and one wearing a red hoodie. The Saturday night shooting left 16-year-old Tiana Robinson dead and a 15-year-old girl injured. There's a $15,000 reward for information that leads to an arrest, and some members of Atlanta's faith community are calling on people to put down the guns. Faith and community leaders are planning to speak this afternoon at the pond at Piedmont Park where the tragedy happened. Organizers say it's in response to youth violence across the city.
Well, the Masters tournament is officially underway, and we're learning that Kurt Kitayama is currently leading the first round at 4 under at Augusta National Golf Club. Rory McIlroy is looking to defend his green jacket. He is playing his first round with Cameron Young and Georgia native Mason Howell. Now, we've been telling you about him all week, and this will be Howell's first time at the Masters after securing his spot by winning the 2025.
And back to that breaking news. Police say the man accused of shooting a DeKalb County police officer has been arrested. I'm Chelsea Bime4.
And I am Wale Aliu. Our first alert chopper actually captured the moment officers were called to the shooting on Glenwood Road around 5 o'clock this evening.
Look at the decisions these niggas make time and time again, man. Listen, man, if you don't believe in DNA, man, all right, y'all don't want to believe in space. Y'all don't want to believe that space is fake. Fine. You don't want to believe that space is fake. Tell me you believe in DNA, man. Please tell me you believe in DNA. Please tell me that. These niggas crash out on the regular. It's like crash out. We the crash out kings, man.
Is where we find Atlanta News First anchor Joe Gorcho live for us tonight. Joe, what can you tell us about that suspect's arrest?
Chelsea and Wale, I'll say this, there's certainly a lot of relief right now for people in this area now that this hours-long intense situation with heavy police presence is nearing an end. Now that Tremaine McCluskey is in custody after SWAT apprehended him. You can just see behind me here, again, just how active the situation remains. In fact, there's a tow truck as well by the Food Mart where we believe that was part of the incident scene earlier this afternoon when you mentioned that DeKalb County officer was shot. But again, like I was just talking about, Tremaine McCluskey has now been arrested. He now faces aggravated assault charges for that shooting of that DeKalb officer. That officer, we're told, by the way, is stable, but we don't know his current condition. What I want you to do right now is just take a moment and look on your screen. This is the man the police were looking for to bring in an arrest for hours. Again, like I mentioned, this is Tremaine McCluskey. Here's his photo. Before shooting an officer, he was wanted for armed robbery, which leads us all here today to Glenwood Road. The situation escalated around 5 this afternoon. Police were in a joint operation with Cobb County to assist their agency in finding McCluskey. Now, we don't have a clear understanding of the circumstances leading up to this violent confrontation with McCluskey shooting and injuring an officer. Multiple eyewitnesses that we spoke with told us, including a local auto body shop owner who said it happened around the Food Mart in terms of this shooting on Glenwood Road by Shamrock Drive, with McCluskey taking off after the shooting over the fence. He said he saw this shop owner back toward a neighborhood by Mid-Glen Apartments off Glenwood Road. Now,
that son, man, just ruined his life. That son, man, ruined his own life.
Move on some breaking news right now. Deadly shooting in Queens. It happened a few hours ago just outside of a church while a funeral service was wrapping up. Eyewitness News reporter Anthony Carlo is there live with the very latest. Anthony, what do we know?
Well, Liz, double the tragedy for this community here in Jamaica. That's right. Eyewitnesses tell us that a funeral service was wrapping up here at Shekinah Youth Church at Greater Allen Cathedral. I want to direct your attention to the hearse right outside. And if you look to the right of that, you'll see an abundance of evidence markers on the ground. Up to 13 we've counted. That's where we understand a 49-year-old man was shot multiple times and dropped to the ground. This was at just before 2:30 this afternoon. I spoke to a limousine driver who was parked in a car, 2 cars behind the hearse outside of the church here. He describes folks walking outside of the church as that funeral service was wrapping up. About 25 people had come outside, and then out of nowhere, gunshots rang out. That limousine driver, who was sitting in his vehicle waiting for the family of the deceased to come to his car, found himself ducking for cover. Take a listen.
And I was taking my coat off to throw inside the limo. And as soon as I took my coat off, I heard pow, 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 pow. I was like, what the heck? And I looked at the hearse and I saw a guy laying on the ground, bouncing from side to side. And I was like, oh my God, I ran behind the limo to go inside the church.
Right, so you can just imagine the chaos out here. That gentleman describes, again, about 25 people pouring out of the church here at Sayers Avenue and Merrick Boulevard in Jamaica. As you look here at a live picture, you can see how active of a crime scene this remains, with investigators continuing to mark evidence, again, next to a hearse here on this block. A startling sight for so many people in this neighborhood who tell us that it's just so shocking to see violence ensue outside of a church as a funeral service was wrapping up. This is a very early and active investigation. So right now, detectives are trying to determine the circumstances of the shooting. The 49-year-old man pronounced dead at a local hospital. They're trying to determine if he was the intended target. But I will tell you that limousine driver who witnessed all of this, he tells me from what he saw and witnessed, people out here were talking about the victim in the shooting being a friend of the man who is being memorialized during this funeral service. We'll have much more as the story develops. For now, we're live in Jamaica. Anthony Carlo, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
Top story tonight, a 17-year-old girl accused of killing her boyfriend. And tonight, we're working to learn more about the deadly stabbing in Harrisburg from some court documents that we've been looking at throughout the day. Thanks for being here at 6. I'm Joel D. Smith. CBS 21's Yasmin Cowan outside the Dauphin County Courthouse, as she's been learning more about this, talking to the DA as well.
Joel D, police say 18-year-old Tamara Shaw was found stabbed in the chest on the 1400 block of Market Street Monday night in Harrisburg. And in this criminal complaint that I have here, police say they've received a tip from someone who says they saw the suspect on social media recording a video holding a knife at the victim the night before the stabbing.
It's so unfortunate. We have kids here, and to be so close to home is scary. And they're so young to even be in this type of situation.
Harrisburg police say 17-year-old Delasia Brown stabbed 18-year-old Tamara Shaw Monday night. In Brown's affidavit, she admitted to police.
Whack that nigga, man. That's crazy, man. I told you these women crazy, man. That's why that white man who tried to break that shit up, the white man lucky he didn't lose his life over some shit like this.
Police say 17-year-old Delasia Brown stabbed 18-year-old Tamara Shaw Monday night. In Brown's affidavit, she admitted to police that her and Shaw were in a relationship. And when police arrived to the scene, investigators say they saw the two in the kitchen where Brown was holding a bloody towel to her boyfriend's chest, and that Shaw complained he could not breathe and fell to the floor.
I understand we have the suspect, 17-year-old Delasia Brown. What else are you guys trying to figure out?
Well, listen, these investigations don't end with the arrest. We work hard, and our police departments work hard in figuring out what happened.
It was reported that a small kitchen knife was used the night of the incident, police stated. The girlfriend said Shaw asked Brown for a knife to cut something, and at some point, it was left in the blanket on the bed. Officers say she told them that it was wrapped up in the blanket. And while she was laying on top of Shaw when in bed together, he yelled out in pain. Brown says she did not see the stabbing, but told police they were arguing earlier that day, but did not get into anything physical at the time of the incident.
We bring these charges not based on what is said, but what must have happened, and based on the analysis of after autopsy and and other statements, including ones that are made online on these apps, and they showed something other than there's evidence not of an accident.
The day after the incident, police say they received a tip pointing them to Brown's Instagram and a video that was posted the night before the stabbing. CBS 21 received exclusive footage from Tamara Shaw's aunt that shows the post on Brown's Instagram story that appears to show her pointing that knife at Shaw and a caption in it stating, "Let this be a warning."
Look at how violent this bitch is. She got videos of her pointing the knife at her boyfriend.
pointing that knife at Shaw and a caption in it stating, "Let this be a warning and cut that wrist up." And here at the Dauphin County Courthouse, District Attorney Fran Charlo tells me that the suspect is currently being held at the Dauphin County Prison without bail, facing charges including murder and the use and possession of drug paraphernalia. Back to you.
Wow.
I have never, out of the 35 years growing up on St. Louis streets, have ever seen anything such traumatizing like this happen in my life.
It is a story you are seeing first and only on 4. Just days after a shooting at a track meet rocked St. Louis, we are hearing a mother's pain after someone killed her 13-year-old son. Only our John Kipper spoke to the grieving mother of 4, who says this tragic incident could have been avoided.
I'm lost because I never thought in a million years that it would be me.
Jennifer McCone says she is numb after her son, Lawan Swopes, only 13 years old, was shot in the high school parking lot Tuesday and later died.
Something that could have been avoided, you know, just was a life-changing situation in such blink of an eye.
Ferguson police say after a track meet at Steam Academy at McClure South High School, Lawan and a 15-year-old boy were both shot by a 13-year-old boy.
Wow.
Police charged the 13-year-old with murder and other violent crimes.
I have mercy upon the young man who, did that to my baby.
McCone says she also feels for the suspect's family and the loved ones of the other teenagers shot. At last check, the 15-year-old was in serious condition in the hospital. She remembers calling Lawan at 6:08 that Tuesday evening and even bought him dinner.
I was always the mother who always knew my children's whereabouts.
Less than an hour later, Ferguson police say the shooting happened.
First thing that came out of my mouth was, oh my God, this can't be life.
Lawan's mom says that he came to the track meet because he wanted to root on family and friends participating, and he planned to join high school track next year, and he wanted to see what the meets were all about. She adds she never could have expected anything bad to happen to him at a school. Lawan dealt with tragedy before this. McCone says his father was murdered in 2020, and they lost their home in a house fire last summer. Still, the 13-year-old, who already experienced so much in his young life, was active in sports and a teen entrepreneur, cutting grass, raking leaves, and shoveling snow.
He worked so hard for all the things that he wanted.
And McCone wants Lawan's ambition to be a part of his legacy, as he leaves behind his mother and 4 brothers. And as this mother grieves for her baby boy, she's thinking about all those people who were in the school parking lot that night.
And I just want to send prayers to all the families and all the children and all the people that was there who witnessed it and saw it.
A GoFundMe has been set up to help pay for Lawan's funeral expenses. John Kipper, First Alert 4.
Wow. Unbelievable. So much, man. It doesn't end. Look at this shit.
Well, friends and family are remembering a Milwaukee barber whose life was cut short in a deadly shooting. Police say 37-year-old Pierre Smith was killed Thursday afternoon. Our Mia Bearden spoke with a childhood friend who shared how his legacy will be living on. Mia?
That's right. Those who knew Pierre say he wasn't just a barber. He was a motivator, self-made, and someone who inspired people every day.
He was determined. He was driven. He anything he put his mind to, he did it.
That's how a childhood friend remembers Pierre Smith, now gone after Milwaukee police say he was shot and killed Thursday afternoon near Lisbon and Burleigh. Pierre was a well-respected barber in Milwaukee.
Every client, he just perfected himself. A lot of people came to him for him to be self-taught. So a lot of people gonna miss being able to, feel good about themselves just on a haircut alone.
She said Pierre's journey didn't come easy, but he didn't let that show.
He walked with his hair high, even when he was struggling, even when he just had, the regular clippers. He still was moving like he had the golden clippers.
That mindset didn't just shape his career, it inspired others.
Seeing him advance and prosper, in that area, It made me want to go hard as a stylist and just do everything that I said I'm gonna do.
Now, as she grieves, she's holding on to the lessons and memories he left behind.
He was just one of those special people, like one of those unique people that you won't forget, you know? So just that alone, it's gonna be leave a lasting impact on a lot of people.
Police are still investigating the shooting and are looking for suspects. Meanwhile, loved ones say they're focused on honoring Pierre's legacy, one that will continue to inspire long after his passing.
Mia Bearden live in studio for us. Thank you.
Mm.
A lot of voices have been weighing in on the topic of teen takeovers, from parents to law enforcement to politicians.
And sign at the bottom for me.
Now the teens are entering the chat.
Look at these kids, man. Look at these fucking kids, man. These are babies.
I know the general public feels like teenagers are all on the same side, and we all want to have a feeling of like rebellion and being rebellious, but at least the students at Kenwood Academy are not about that whatsoever.
These students want adults and other students across the city to hear them out.
A lot of the spotlight, a lot of times in the news, is that the bad, like what we saw last week, instead of kind of, students taking initiative like we did today. Not even just in regards to trends, there's a lot of things that Kenwood students do every week that kind of don't get the same highlight and attention.
On Wednesday, Kenwood Academy high school students lined up to take part in a unique commitment by signing their names to a pledge saying no to teen takeovers.
I think it concerns me just because it shows a larger problem of like, why do teens feel the need to do this? Why can't we?
Black teens. Why do black teens feel the need to do this?
Congregate in safe ways.
The effort is being led by student leaders, including members of their school's National Honor Society chapter. They say a recent teen takeover in Hyde Park inspired them to push back against the growing online trend.
I think it just shows where we need to take steps forward.
Teen takeovers are something cities across the country are grappling with, as these gatherings are promoted online, often going viral. In late March, teen takeovers led to several disturbances in the Loop, prompting a curfew enforcement order. Several city leaders say these trends are dangerous, as they often can become out of control, violent, and even deadly. A teen takeover following last November's downtown tree lighting ceremony led to the shooting death of a 14-year-old. Following the recent takeover in Hyde Park, Kenwood educators we spoke with say students wanted to start a conversation.
I just really want to applaud my students for their bravery and leadership, even in speaking out against some peers who may not be with the trend.
They say students filmed their own video to reach classmates and talk about the upcoming pledge.
It was really, really heartwarming to see that they were stepping up for something that is directly affecting them and their community.
By late morning, dozens of students took the pledge and their commitments were put on display in a hallway.
I think it's important to set high expectations for students, regardless to whether they're in school.
Yeah, but these nerdy kids ain't the ones that's gonna be out there. Those nerdy kids, salute to these nerdy kids. I mean, I really do applaud these nerdy kids, but they wouldn't fit in that environment. Press one. They wouldn't fit in. They wouldn't feel comfortable going to this anyway. They're not like not going, like because they choosing to. They're not going because they not gonna fit in with the little gangbangers and the little shooters and the little, you know what I'm saying, fucking hoochie mamas that's gonna be down at the. These kids wouldn't fit in down there. These kids are not like part of that. They're not, them saying they ain't going is like me saying I ain't going to Dick Fest. Hey, y'all, man, I'm decided I'm not going to Dick Fest at Pride Week in June. I'm not going to be attending Dick Fest. You know what I mean? I feel like, I need to focus on my channel I'm not gonna be attending Dick Fest during Pride Week in June, y'all. I know y'all really thought I was going to be there, but I just sorry, I'm not going this year. Like that's these kids saying they're not going and pledging not to go down there with those little fucking gangbangers and little teen killers as they maraud through the city and terrorize everybody. This is not what they think it is. Like, you weren't going there anyway. You weren't going there anyway. You weren't invited. Them little kids would have seen you and they would have started picking on you and shit. Because you're not part of them. And that's great. You don't belong with them. You don't belong with those kids. And it's great that you're not going to try to go down there and hang out with them. But you wouldn't hang with them anyway. But salute to these kids, man. He said she needs forehead work. She's a nerd, man. She's not like concerned with her parents like that. She a nerd, man. Nerdy girls always need, you ain't never seen no movies, man. In the movie, the nerdy girl always gotta get her hair done and take the glasses off and shit and just, change her out. When they gotta, how the movies be. The nerdy girl, she really beautiful and shit, but she looked fucked up because that's the plot of the movie. That the nerdy girl gonna turn into a beauty queen by the end of the movie. You know that. You know how it rolls. Shout out to Short Bus Driver, man. Short Bus Driver says, when I was still pre-adult, parents were held responsible for the ones that caused trouble. That needs to come back. I don't remember that day, Short Bus Driver. I don't remember when parents were held responsible. Maybe societally, like you put a bad stain on your family or you embarrassed your family. That stuff was yeah. But as far as the parent receiving any kind of like legal, issues over there, children being assholes, I never saw that. I never saw that. All you could do is just embarrass your family or, I gotta leave work. If I gotta leave work to come up to school because you acting like a jackass, I'm gonna fuck you up. I remember hearing that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Don't make me have to leave work and come up to that school. I'm gonna whip your ass in front of everybody. Yeah, these kids ain't doing enough.
A new plan for tackling teen takeovers announced minutes ago in Detroit. Thank you for joining us on 7 News Detroit at 5. I'm Simon Shakett.
And I'm Glenda Lewis. It's a trend that police have been focusing on in recent weeks. Huge groups of teenagers have been gathering downtown, leading to fights and arrests.
Mayor Mary Sheffield just announced a comprehensive plan for keeping teens engaged in the community and off the streets, saying enforcement alone is not the answer. Tonight, all eyes will be on downtown, watching for teen gatherings on this Friday night.
7 News Detroit's Randy Wimbley is your Detroit reporter, and he spoke with business leaders, parents, and Detroiters frustrated over the issue.
Randy joins us live from the Butzel Family Center on Detroit's east side, where the mayor's press conference is just wrapping up. Randy.
Yeah, guys, Mary Sheffield stood alongside the police chief and also the young people who organize those so-called teen takeovers. She says that when she witnessed what went down last week, she saw the kids' ability to lead, to mobilize, to bring people together. And that is not something to shut down, but rather to channel and direct, so that she's going to be working with those young people so that they too can enjoy downtown in a safe and responsible way. Take a look.
We are actively working with this young group of young people to explore designated spaces in our cities, curated environments, sanctioned gatherings in safe zones where teens can come together, enjoy downtown.
Here's the thing, though. This is what she fundamentally doesn't understand. And this is, I don't know if this is a problem with woman leadership or just woke leadership. What she fundamentally doesn't understand is that the reason the kids are doing what they're doing with the takeovers and fighting and jumping on people's cars is because it's illegal. They want to do illegal stuff. They want to do bad stuff. They want to break into cars. They want to break windows on storefronts. They want to, write on stuff. They want to, draw the ire of the police. They want to wake people up and shit. They want to fight. If you give them a downtown space where they can go play basketball, they don't want to do that. They want to be bad. You're taking all of the fun out of it. The kids that are doing this shit are not going to show up to your fucking picnic and shit. They're not going to show up to your fucking readathon or your fucking, you know what I mean? Your arts and crafts shit. They're not going to show up to that. They want to fucking maraud through the town and be bad and have interactions with police and fight and destroy property. That's what they want to do. She thinks that like the white man and slavery and the segregation and the legacy of Jim Crow is making them do this shit. And if we just fix it up and give them something to do, they'll come. No, it don't work like that. The kids that are marauding through the town like a band of fucking bandits, pirates and shit, drunken soldiers, that's what they want to do. They don't want to do something else. They don't want an alternative to that. Press 1. They want to do that. These people don't understand that. And they're leaders. These are leaders. And they don't understand that. That's like a bunch of guys go out to the that's like a bunch of passport bros go down to the Dominican Republic or Brazil and fuck on hoes all week, and you say, hey, you know what? We're gonna when you come to Brazil, we're gonna give, instead of fucking on these hoes, we're gonna give you a fucking seminar on fucking safe sex and shit. Them same dudes ain't gonna come to Brazil no more. They're like, fuck that shit. I'm going down there to fuck on hoes. What are you talking about? You mean there ain't no hoes down there? Oh, well, we ain't going. These people are leaders. And they don't know anything about human nature. They don't know why things are happening. Yeah, they're being bad. It's the thrill of defying, getting caught, doing something bad. Rebellion, destruction.
Huge groups of teenagers have been gathering downtown, leading to fights and arrests.
Mayor Mary Sheffield just announced a comprehensive plan for keeping teens engaged in the community and off the streets, saying enforcement alone is not the answer. Tonight, all eyes will be on downtown, watching for teen gatherings on this Friday night.
7 News Detroit's Randy Wimbley is your Detroit reporter, and he spoke with business leaders, parents, and Detroiters frustrated over the issue.
Randy joins us live from the Butzel Family Center on Detroit's east side, where the mayor's press conference is just wrapping up. Randy.
Yeah, guys, Mary Sheffield stood alongside the police chief and also the young people who organize those so-called teen takeovers. She says that when she witnessed what went down last week, she saw the kids' ability to lead, to mobilize, to bring people together. And that is not something to shut down, but rather to channel and direct, so that she's going to be working with those young people so that they too can enjoy downtown in a safe and responsible way. Take a look.
We are actively working with this young group of young people to explore designated spaces in our cities, curated environments, sanctioned gatherings in safe zones where teens can come together, enjoy downtown, and be a part of the life of this amazing city in a structured, supported, and safe way.
Mayor Mary Sheffield tackling the so-called teen takeover events in downtown Detroit. The incidents happened March 30th and again on Tigers opening day, erupting into fights and disrupting fans, passersby, and businesses alike.
They're running into stores, just causing trouble, twerking, taking pants down, just doing things. There's little kids that are in restaurants. There's people. So people either get scared or annoyed or they don't want to deal with it and they walk out and leave.
Grace Curo sits on the board of the Detroit Restaurant and Lodging Association and owns the iconic American Coney Island, which closed early on opening day, as did other businesses, because of the teen takeover. That impacted revenue and so much more.
That's the least of my worries. It's the safety of my staff and my customers in the restaurant and the people out on the sidewalks that are walking back to their cars, that had gone to the game, that just wanted to grab a hot dog or something before they get to the car to drive home. That is my main concern.
Mayor Sheffield, Police Chief Todd Bettison, and members of the mayor's cabinet met with the organizers of the teen takeover earlier this week. That was welcome news to Kuros, who has this message for those who took part in the mass gathering downtown.
Find an activity, get busy. I'm hiring. I'll give you a job, make some money, and then go out and have some fun, but a good fun.
The right fun.
The right fun.
Detroiters I talked with echoed that sentiment.
We definitely need, these kids need to be out here doing something more productive, for sure.
And then some.
Today's world is not like when I was coming up. Kids wouldn't have been out in the streets. I couldn't have been out in the streets. So what kind of parents do they have?
They start from home. But it needs to go back to how we was brought up.
Mayor Sheffield says there's a place for accountability and enforcement, but the big point is that most of the kids who showed up downtown just want to enjoy the city in a safe way, and she's going to be working with the young people to make sure that that can happen. Reporting live on the city's east side, I'm Randy Wimbley.
Kids need to be out here doing.
Salute, man, everybody, man. We'll be back tomorrow, man. Great show, man. Great show, man. Salute to everybody, man. Thank you for all you guys coming out, man. With everybody that helped sponsor the programming, man. Hit the like button on the way out, man. If you watching videos on the Caitlin Clark channel, make sure you hype the videos. Same Vlad time, same Vlad channel. I'm out of here. Subscribe.